But moving on, the National Association of Telecom Subscribers also vowed to challenge the Nigerian government's decision to approve a 50% increase in telecom's tariff. The group expressed its dissatisfaction with the move, describing it as a burden on Nigerians already struggling with the rising, living costs. The president of NATCOM's Diolu Ogunbajo criticized the NCC for failing to engage subscribers before approving the tariffs. Well, I have a guest right now, national president of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Fasisi Sarafedeen Atanda, joining me now for more on this conversation. Many thanks for joining us on Business Insights. Okay, can you unmute your device?
Good morning. Good morning for having me.
Good morning. All right, good morning, Atanda.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this tariff increase, for telecoms operators. It's been like a long time coming. There have been a back and forth. Initially, the operators were looking at a 100% increase, but will I say through interventions or whatever, but now it has been pegged at 50%, and somehow it won't just affect just average day calling and texting and, data and all, but it will also affect, financial inclusion, specifically, POS operations. Talk to us, walk us through how it will impact on, POS operations, specifically with AMMBAN.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think the tariff hike is long overdue. It's been dragging, and there have been a lot of engagements over the years, several attempts to jack up the prices, and finally they got the alignment of the government to go ahead. We are not surprised because we are business people too. Inflation is catching up with every services. So for you to be break even in a liberal economy like ours, you have to also adjust your cost to serve. So as concerning the POS agents, POS business generally, we belong to the segments of digital financial inclusion, which actually operates digitally. That means we are operating, riding on infrastructure of telcos. So any increase in the prices of telcos, of course, to serve our own cost to serve, and every business people will transfer it. So that is the way it is. So we have about 50% rise as of today, based on new tariff. Per minute of phone call will be 18.33 per minute. SMS is now 6.67 per SMS. And the one that is live, that all of us can't do without, that is data, is going for about 479.17 per gig. So per gig data bundle. So definitely all this will have impact on the charges of the POS agents across the country, because we also have to remain in business. So definitely there will be additional. Our role is to ensure that the charges are at par with the increase in the tariff of the telcos, so that it will not be extortive. So that is our role as association.
Okay, I think I should butt in here now. Let me butt in here now, Mr. Atanda. Let's talk about exploitative outlook to all of this, because over time, not so long ago, there was this introduction of electronic money transfer levies, specifically for most of these payments and bank payment services and providers and all of that. But then again, we noticed that it was supposed to be for every 10,000 naira, there should be like a 15 naira, charge. But we noticed that even some operators, before then have just streamlined it across board. Even if you withdrawing, below that particular ceiling, they still charge you more. They just reviewed their prices generally. So how do you ensure this, that there's no exploitation that you have mentioned, and ensure that there will be standard as it is?
The beauty of a country like Nigeria is they are seeing things from our perspective now, that regulation should be collaborative in nature. Regulation does not end at putting policy in paper. The agency banking regulations that we're working with, the level of implementation on the field, it's around 40–50%. So, and until we are able to pick it up, that, this regulation is existing, there is a need for self-regulation, working with the Central Bank of Nigeria, working with all other stakeholders, because people tend to manipulate the system. You may have policy on the books, but if you don't have stakeholders like us that is putting eagle high on the feed, people will tend to exploit the people. And we are happy that we're having fantastic cooperation, collaborative, relationship with the central bank and all other regulators. So, and that's put us to set up what we call joint task force. And our joint task force are across the country. Every local government, we have the joint task force. And what they do now is to step up. We need to now step up oversight function in conjunction with the Office of the Inspector General of Police, DSS, and all other security agents. We are moving around now to be checking their books, their charges, to be sure that it's not exploitative in nature. And there are a lot of awareness outside there. In every of our meetings at the local government meetings, and also we are issuing out advisory pricing for our members. We also need to realize that charges has to do with terrain, varies with terrain. Somebody that is inside the city cannot be expected to charge the same way somebody across the river or in a very difficult terrain in Nigeria. So, and based on our own experiences, we have this perfect understanding on how to ensure check and balances on the charges of agents across the country. We are only looking forward to the support of the regulators and the security agents, further support for us to be able to move as we really want to move. And I think special appeal also goes to service providers, that there is a need for them to educate their own agents, that they are onboarding the agents, because at the point of onboarding agents, that is the best way to train. That is the best way to educate people. You don't just deploy POS terminals to somebody that you have not trained, you are not sure of the knowledge of the business. So as to create problem for us in the society. So we have been talking to them. Every effort. I remember the first government triggered. Others are thinking that you are disturbing their businesses. And it's not about that. It's about the individual. It's not about your business, but it's about security of our country. It's about people complying with the laid down rules. Imagine somebody hanging POS on the neck and debiting people inside the market. That person should not be allowed to continue in that manner. So, and if we arrest such a person, service provider should not be seeing that as an attempt to affect or to stop their businesses.
All right.
So we are interacting and we are engaging. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's still talk about this recent development. Let's see the outlook per se. In terms of pricing now, what should Nigerians expect? I know that over time, operators too may want to increase or will, increase their tariffs based on, the exigencies of the moment. Now, since the operators are increasing tariffs by 50%, do we see price changes of withdrawals across POS operators? Specifically, if I should ask for like a 5,000 withdrawal, 10,000 withdrawal, what are Nigerians likely to expect?
Okay. There are two levels of charges, in our business. Agents are third party. So you have the principal, who are the licensed service providers. They are yet to even come up with their own, pricing, because they are still going to come up with their own pricing. So they are coming up with their own pricing. As of today, if a service provider is charging around 20 naira, 25 naira for NIP transactions, that is bank transfers. If you move money from one bank to the other, if they are charging, let's say 25, 30, which is the max, and agents is charging 100 naira, 150 naira, depending on the distance to the bank and the cost of, to serve. So immediately, we are also, I know that service providers are already meeting, and they are looking at the recent hike. So, and some of them are jacking up their prices already. So if service providers are jacking up from 25 or 30 naira to, let's say, 40 or 50 naira, so that means that margin will be added by the agents to their pricing to break even. Like I said, is a liberal market, and it's only not offering service that will actually suffer in this market. Every business, that is where we are. And on Naira economy, we can't achieve that by remaining on the same spot. Right. What is important is we just have to ensure there is check and balances, is not exploitative. What we want to assure customers of POS is that the pricing exploitative percentage rise in service charge by service provider, because there is this misconception. People as when agent charge 100 naira, all the 100 naira belongs to the agent. No, not at all. The data, the cost of the cost of transportation to the bank. At the end of the day, from that 100 naira transaction, an agent may be going home with 10 naira. Because cumulatively, an average agent is making around 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira in a day, and is incurring a cost because of the cost of transportation, data, and is incurring about 2,005. So an average agent that you are seeing sitting from morning till night is going home with around 500 naira. Imagine 500 in 30 days. That's about 15,000. It's not even up to minimum wage, and we have graduates.
All right. Okay. Okay, Fasisi, as we round off right now, let's get a bit of an update as per how the policies of regulators are affecting POS business. Specifically, there was a minimum, a daily withdrawal limit that was set at 100,000 naira per individuals, and of course, operators can do about 1.2 million. So how far would that particular development, how has it really impacted on your business? And of course, what are we likely to see is POS operators, or rather POS operators are going to fight this 1.2 million daily limit transactions?
Yeah, central bank is doing well, and they are, as much as possible, tightening the payment space to ensure that people are not gaming the system. The reason behind the introduction of that policy is because of people that are commoditizing cash. You see an agent paying 5 million at a go, 10 million at a go. You know that those are not financial inclusion agents. Those are dealers, cash dealers, and those are people that us, to take out of the system. POS is part of financial inclusion services, and about 80 or 90% of our agents are actually not going to be affected by that new regulation of 1.2 million per day. Because when you can pull out reports from NIPS and service providers, you will agree with me that over 90% are doing lower volume of transactions. So those that are doing high volume are categorized into two. You have cash dealers in the city. So it's going to take our agents in the market, in the cattle market, in the commodity markets that are doing high volume. As of today, the cost of the cattle is over 1 million. So if a POS is carrying out a transaction inside the market, like let's say 10 cattle in a day or 5, so it's going to affect an agent. So we are trying to identify those our agents and engage the central bank to give us waivers of our agents in the market. So we are doing the necessary.
All right, Professor, we have to go.
Of our agents inside the market.
All right, we want to say a very big thank you to you. We are particularly out of time. We'll say a very big thank you to you, Fasisi Sarafedeen Atanda, for your time on the show, looking at all of these issues as they affect POS operation and, of course, financial inclusion in Nigeria. Many thanks for your time on the show. All right, that's the size of the show for today. My name is Justin Akadonye. Many thanks for watching.